All right, guys, let's get started. We're gonna start on our backs. We need one chair and one dumbbell. Lay all the way down on your mat. Feet are going to be 4 inches apart, parallel, arms long at your sides. And just take a second to settle in. You can walk your shoulder blades down, collarbones are wide, arms are reaching long at your sides. Give yourself a little breathing room behind your knees if you need to find some breath there, some space. And then with a hinged back, we're not going to curl, we're going to reach long with a flat back, lengthening the knees away from shoulders as we inhale and rise. Hold at the top, and then we're going to exhale, hinge, creasing at the front side of the hips still with a flat back to bring the tailbone down to the mat. So at your own pace, it's an inhale, lift from your glam lines. Arms are imprinting strongly into the mat, palms are imprinting strongly. Exhale as you crease at the front side of the hips. As we're rising, the femur bones are dropping deep into the pelvis as the pelvis rises. Exhale, crease, and those femur bones are sinking deeply into the pelvis. Arms are super active, recruiting your glutes to lift you at the top, no crease at the front side of the hips. And bring the next one down. We're going to take the right heel, not the flat foot, the right heel onto the chair, and then continue with your bridges. Inhale as you lengthen and lift. Exhale as you crease. Pelvis stays level. Legs stay 4 inches apart, parallel. And send lots of energy down through that right heel. You should feel lots of effort through the back side of that right leg and across into the left waistline. You might feel it in the opposite direction as well, from the back side of the left hip into the right waistline, working like an X through your body. Let's hold the next one up at the top, hold and breathe. Optional challenge, float the right leg into tabletop, not required. For 4, level out the hips. For 3, reaching with length. For 2, bring your right foot to the floor, please. So now we have 2 feet on the floor again. Hold it up at the top of the bridge. We're going to take the left heel onto the chair. If your dumbbell's in the way, you can just kind of scooch it a little bit. Hinge at the hips, exhale, creasing down, arms are strong into the mat. Inhale as you lengthen and rise. Exhale, crease at the hips. We have a flat back through our spine as we reach, lift, and lengthen on the inhale. Exhale as you slowly decelerate down. We're going to do 2 more like this. Lots of energy into the left heel and the sole of the right foot. This is going to be the last one as we lift and rise. Pause, recruiting the right glutes. We're going to float the left leg into tabletop. That is an option, not required. Heel can always stay down. For 3, 2, left foot returns to the mat and slowly decelerate down with intention. Fantastic. All right, we're going to turn onto our right side. You're going to have your right elbow down, your palm is flat on the mat. From here, guys, we're going to take our left heel again onto the chair. So you're going to adjust height wherever you need to. Good. And then we are going to take your right knee is going to be down on the mat, and we're going to peel the hip up off the mat. So we're in this kind of like side plank position. Shoulder is melting down and around the ribs. And if this is a good challenge for you, we're going to stay here. If you're looking for more, and when I say more, I mean a lot more, so the bottom leg is bent, we're going to bring the bottom leg off the mat. That's an exhale. And inhale, bring it back down. So we're keeping the hips steady, and we're going to hover the bottom leg and bring it back down. If that's aggressive in your body, here's the option instead. Keep the bottom leg down, and then we'll hover the top leg off the chair. So you can do either version. The bottom leg lifting is going to be a lot more aggressive than the top leg lifting, but they're both pretty spicy. Lengthen and reach, melting that shoulder blade down and around the ribs. Crown of head is lengthening away. I'm demonstrating in both variations. You choose which one works for you. You can take the arm up and out if you'd like to. For 4, we're there already, gang. For 3, you got it. For 2, and last one, bring your hip down. Nice job, you guys, gorgeous. All right, we're gonna rise onto our feet. And you're gonna take your right foot onto the mat. You're gonna stand a good distance away from your chair. And then we're gonna have our left heel up on the chair again, like so. So you wanna be at least a full leg's distance away, yeah? And we're gonna have the weight in our right hand. From here, we are gonna go into a plie, making sure that both legs are in external rotation. Don't worry about the dumbbell yet. We're gonna start with the hips going down and back like you're sitting in an imaginary chair. So the leg on the mat is bent and the leg on the chair is straight. It's an exhale to lower down and then an inhale to raise. So it's like a stretch, right? Exhale as we lower down and inhale as we bring it up. It's too early, no one thinks I'm funny yet. It's all right. Exhale, you can go into a bicep curl. Inhale and that arm can unfold. Good, lots of length. Bowing forward, pelvis rolling over the top of those thigh bones. Exhaling, creasing at the hips, sitting bones broadening. Inhale as we raise up. If you'd like to, you can take that left arm out. And we're gonna have a little rise in the left side of the pelvis. That's okay, but we don't want to over exaggerate it. So you wanna think about that hip still melting down. Here we go for 3. We have 2. Spine is long, reaching crown of head away from the tailbone. Let's hold the next one down, hold and breathe. And we're gonna peel the right heel off the mat or think about it, right? We can always imagine it, but we're not gonna change our height, and then we're gonna imprint it back down. And then we're gonna pick it up. On an exhale, the inner thigh picks that heel up off the floor and then imprint it back down. I like to think about a stack of marshmallows under my heel. Exhaling as we pick it up. Inhaling as we set it down. 2 more like this. Navel is up and in. Maybe crease at the front side of your hips a little bit more. Find a deeper stretch through that inner thigh. Hold your heel up or down. It's entirely up to you. Hold and breathe for 5. Maybe the weight goes out a little bit, challenging your body. Pay attention to your shoulders for 3. For 2, and heel goes down. Inhale, gather and rise up. Really nice job, you guys. Beautiful. All right, go ahead and set that dumbbell down, and we're going to take our chair into the middle of our mat. Good. All right, from here we're going to go into a squat sequence. So we're going to sit down onto the chair. We're going to have our knees in close parallel, our feet in close parallel position. Straight away, we're going to take our arms up alongside our ears, melt the shoulder blades down the back side of your body. We're going to bow forward so the pelvis rolls over the top of the thigh bones, imprinting equal weight across the soles of your feet. Inhale, rising all the way up, arms are long, legs extend. And then we're going to exhale as we bow forward, creasing, lowering back down, 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 down. But we're not going to sit today. We're not going to sit. Surprise. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, bow forward, reaching down and back. Maybe the fabric of your pants touch the chair, but we're not going to rest any weight onto it. Inhale as you raise. Just a few more like this, and we're going to layer on. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, creasing and lowering, checking in that you have equal weight across the soles of your feet. And we're going to layer on. As we lower down, we're going to take the left arm behind us as we rotate the ribs. And then we're going to inhale, come back up. And then we're going to switch to the other side. The right arm reaches behind us and we rotate the ribs. And then inhale, bring it up. You can adjust if your chair's in the way at all. Creasing at the hips, lowering down, rotating. Inhale, bring it up. As the arm reaches long, think more about length and less about how high it's going. Making sure we're allowing the knees to crease in front of our ankles, ideally behind your toes. We're going to hold this next one down and rotate it with our left arm back, right arm forward. Hold and breathe. We're going to pick the left heel up off the floor ever so slightly, but try not to let that hip climb with you. And then we're going to do a little crease down and back through our hips. It's not going to be a pulse, so we're not just bouncing through the same range of movement. We want to think about that, like maybe a millimeter one direction, quarter of an inch another direction, half
an inch one direction and find that intention, really moving the thigh bone through the pelvis for 3. Reach that left hip down and back for 2. Good news, left heel goes down, inhale, rise up. Let's take the other side. Right arm goes back, ribs rotate, hold. Maybe we're stretching the right arm a little bit more. Right heel peels up, but the hip doesn't rise. Magnetize the outer thighs, and then it's a little down and back. Teeny tiny. Reaching like you're going to sit down in that chair rather than just dropping straight down. Magnetize the outer thighs for 3, for 2. And heel goes down with intention. Inhale, rise all the way up. Gorgeous job, you guys. All right, we're going to set that chair off to the side, and we're going to come down into a side lying position with your dumbbells. So we're going to lay down onto our side. Actually, no, I lied. Sorry. We're going to go into a mermaid sit. So we're going to have our left leg forward and your right leg back. Left leg is forward and right leg is back. Good. All right, once we're there, we're going to be working on mobility and flexibility through the hips. You can take your left hand behind you if you need it for support. Otherwise, both arms can be out to the sides. All right, here we go. We're going to inhale and we're going to rise up onto our shins and knees. Inhale as we lengthen and lift. Exhale as we crease. Try to keep the torso pretty upright. A little bit forward is okay. And we're trying to decelerate at the same rate of speed as the same rate of speed as we rise. Exhale as you lower down. Good. Inhale as you lengthen and lift. So if this feels aggressive in your body, you can always slide a yoga block under your bottom hip, and that's going to help lift you. So usually gentlemen can benefit from some yoga blocks under your hip. Yeah. And sometimes just anyone who has a tight hip or it feels just crowded in your body, get a yoga block or 2 under your seat. You can even do a little stack of books, yeah? I would say phone books, but those don't exist anymore. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale as you lengthen and rise. We're gonna go for 2 more like that. Good. Inhale as we lift. Exhale down, hold here, you're not done yet. We're gonna slide our ribs to the left, but notice I didn't arc, so it's just a rib translation to the side. And then we're gonna hover the right shin off the mat, hold. That's a good time already, isn't it? Okay, we're gonna aim to keep your foot and your knee at the same height, and then we're gonna reach back right under your seat. We're gonna lengthen and reach back just a teeny tiny. Maybe you even close your eyes to visualize that thigh bone just kind of swiveling ever so slightly through the hip socket. We're lengthening both sides of the waistline. We're reaching the right knee away from the hip for 4, for 3, for 2, and bring your knee all the way down. Gorgeous job. All right, we're gonna come onto our hands and knees. And we're gonna go into a bear crawl. So we're gonna have our palms flat on the mat. Knees and toes are gonna be glued together here. On the exhale, we're gonna hover our knees. And then we are going to take little baby steps back with our feet, 1 foot at a time. Is gonna stretch us all the way out into a plank. Little tiny steps, step, step, step back. Lengthen into a plank, take a breath here, inhale. Exhale, and then you're going to start that journey back. Little tiny steps coming together until you end back up in that 4-point wheel that you started with. You can either take a quick pause and set your knees down, or you can get right back into those steps. So it's little tiny steps walking you back out into your best plank position. And then pause, breathe, inhale into your middle back, and then bring the feet, little steps back in. I'm taking about 6 little steps to come in and 6 little steps to come out. If it's aggressive in your body, you can always come down onto your elbows. You can always set your knees down at any time to take a moment. Good. And we're keeping the pelvis as tight as possible. As we're moving through these, we're finding length and broadness through the spine, both through the middle back, across the shoulders, and lengthening tailbone from crown of head. This looks gorgeous. We're gonna go for 1 more, and we're gonna hold that last plank. If it's aggressive in your shoulders or your neck, guys, elbows are always an option. Let's all meet in the plank. Hold and breathe for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and knees come all the way down. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and lay onto our backs one more time. We're gonna lay on down. And we're gonna have our knees bent. Arms are long up to the sky, and then we're gonna interlace our fingers behind the base of your skull. Good, so the feet are down to start with. We're gonna go into a shallow rib lift. So you have the base of your shoulder blades just barely off the mat. And then we are going to hover the right leg into tabletop position. Hover the left leg, invite that leg up into tabletop position. Good. From here, all we're gonna do is melt the knees and the feet and legs over to the right. This is gonna be an exhale, and then inhale, bring it back through center. Now we're gonna send it to the left. So we're just doing this kind of like almost windshield wiper movement. Try to keep 4 inches between your knees and your feet. That's part of the trick here, is to stay organized and stay parallel. So the pelvis is gonna melt a little bit, but try to keep the ribs and the shoulders quiet. Knees are bent just above your hips, getting into that waistline, rotating the pelvis. We're gonna do one more to the left, and then bring it back through center. Now we're gonna go into a little around the world. So even yourself out, get back to center. We're gonna recommit to adding more weight into your hands from your head, so it funnels down into your middle back. Make sure you have a neutral spine, and we're gonna go into a little around the world. So we're gonna tip towards the right, and then we're gonna open the hips a little bit. The legs are gonna extend towards the bottom of the mat. They don't have to go fully long. And then we're gonna bring it back through center. And then we inhale, tip the legs to the left, extend the hips. Your knees don't have to extend, they can, and bring it back through center. So you're taking this at your own pace. Like I said, part of that trick is keeping the knees and the feet properly aligned. Inhale to the side, open at the front side of the hips, back through center. Keep working at your own pace, thinking about those thigh bones, really swimming through the pelvis. The pelvis is rolling side to side, but it doesn't have to be a great big range of movement. Beautiful, lots of weight in our hands. If that feels aggressive in your neck or your shoulders, you can always set your head down. Beautiful, try to keep those shoulders and ribs pretty quiet. Good, you guys, just a few more here. You got it, here we go for 3. Evening your body out for 2. Beautiful. And bring it in through center. You can hug those knees, take a quick pause, and then we're gonna come into our mermaid sit on the other side. So remember, if that's feeling crowded in your body, every side of the body is different. You can slide a yoga block under your right hip, and then we'll be good to go. You have the option of a hand on the mat or arms out to the side. On this side, we can also bring our arms all the way up into a V. So you've got lots of options here. All right, exhale to prepare, sitting nice and tall. Inhale, we're gonna lift as we rise. This side's a little spicier for me. Exhale as you lower down. So you might notice one side feels a little more challenging to you, and just lean into that, sending breath to anywhere that is feeling tight or giving you a little feedback. Inhale as you lengthen and rise. We're going for openness on the front side of the hips. Exhale as you crease deeply and decelerate down. So this is going to improve mobility and flexibility through the hips and through your knees. Inhale, use that lightness and breath to raise you. Exhale as you bring it down, back down. Finding that reach and that lift can be a trick to set it down at the same rate of speed. So let's aim to do that. We're going to go for 2 more, and then we're going to go for the reach with the left leg behind us. Last one, all the way up, open, and then we're going to crease it back down, pause. You can take the arms out to the side. We're going to translate the ribs. That means we're going to shift rather than arc. Beautiful. And then we're gonna hover that left leg off the mat. You should feel a lot of activation through that left hip. It's all right, take a break if you need to. And then we're gonna crease behind your hip, right at the glam line where the glutes and the hamstrings meet. It doesn't even have to be a visible change. You can always find a yoga block under your hip if you need it. Reaching back, little tiny crease. Think about that left knee stretching away from the hip. Good. Here we go for 4. Keeping your foot at the same level as your knee for 2. And last 1. Go ahead and bring that knee all the way down. All right, we're gonna flip over, going right into a miniature wounded twist. So you can have elbows down if you have sensitive wrists or shoulders. And we're gonna step our feet back into a closed parallel position. From here, cross your right ankle under your left. Right ankle is under your left, and rotate your hips to the side of your mat. So your hips are turned, your pelvis is turned, but your shoulders are still square. We're gonna go up and back on an inhale. It's just gonna be a small hike today. That right hip drags up and back, and then we unwind. Exhale, back to start. Inhale, right hip drags up and back, and then exhale, unwind. Thinking about lengthening and reaching the tailbone from the crown of the head, and then unwind. Just 3 more here. Finding that breath to support you, finding that right inner thigh, spiraling forward. And this is going to be our last one. And bring the hips all the way down. Gorgeous. All right, let's lay on our backs again. And this time, we're gonna keep our head down and our arms long. It's like we're setting up for a bridge, but instead we're gonna float the left leg into tabletop and then invite the right leg into tabletop position. Closed parallel, so big toes and knees are touching. Arms float straight up to the sky, palms are facing away from you. They're shoulder width distance. And then we're gonna unfold the legs towards the sky. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but as straight as you can get them. We're gonna inhale, lengthen crown of head away from our spine, lengthening and reaching away. It's a tiny little rib lift. And then exhale, set it back down. Legs stay long. Inhale, reaching, lifting. Exhale, bring it back down. So it's less about the hands reaching high or the head lifting up, and it's more about finding the reach of the spine and using the hamstrings to extend the legs. So ask less from your quadriceps, ask less for the front of the hips, and ask for more from the hamstrings, stretching you up and unfolding those legs, unfurling and reaching the legs. Let's hold the next one up, hold the next one up. Beautiful job, you guys. Shaking is okay. Magnetize those outer thighs. Hamstrings are extending the legs a little bit further. Ask for more from the hamstrings for 3, breathing for 2, and bring it down. Gorgeous job. Amazing news, wounded twist, other side. Yes, yes, I knew you were hoping for that. Next, we're gonna take hands wide on the mat, shoulder width distance, knees and toes are glued together. Lengthen one leg back at a time into your best plank. Elbows are always an option, gang. Left foot slides under right, and the pelvis rotates to the side of your mat. So pelvis is turned, shoulders are square. On your inhale, swivel that left hip up and back just a little, and then on the exhale, unwind. Legs are closed together as best as you can manage. Inhale, swivel the pelvis, slide the shoulders behind the wrists just a little, and then exhale, unwind. Find that length in your body. The left hips are gonna wanna kiss your left ribs. See if you can keep some space and openness through the waistline, all sides. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, unwind. I have real good news. We're gonna grab our chair next. Exhale, unwind. Inhale, bring it back. This is gonna be our last one. Make it that best one. Lengthen, reach, swivel, unwind, and bring your knees down onto the mat. Nice job, you guys. You can roll out those wrists and shoulders. We're gonna rise to our feet, And we're gonna go into our single leg squat on the other side. So this time we're gonna have our right heel on the chair and we're gonna have the dumbbell in our left hand. So we wanna be an external rotation, and you're gonna choose how far you are away from the chair, but it needs to be with the right leg long. So you can kind of adjust as needed. The left arm is gonna be bent, right arm can be out or on your hip. Here we go. We're gonna bow forward. This is an exhale here, creasing at the hip. Inhale, bring it up. So you'll feel that really nice stretch through the inner thigh on the right leg as we are finding power and mobility through the left hip. So again, we don't want to ride that left knee joint. Think more about the left hip and think about the core helping to support you as you bow forward, exhaling down and inhaling to lift, lengthen, and reach. Crease deeply at the left hip and rise. Inhaling to lengthen, exhale to bow forward. You can always add that bicep curl as we're working, so as the hip creases, the arm can go into a bicep curl. Beautiful job. Just a few more here. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. We can think about the pelvic floor broadening on the way down. Narrowing on the way up, especially through that left hip. Let's hold this next one. Hold and breathe. Maybe you find a little more challenge through the dumbbell extended further away from your body. We're going to hold forward and then we're going to peel the left heel up and then we're going to imprint it back down. Try to achieve that without changing your height. So the first one can be a little bit wonky, but try to achieve that without getting taller or pitching forward. And in my body, my left knee kind of wants to take its own little ride. So as you pick up the heel, maybe make it smaller so that your left knee still stays aligned, big toe, second toe. Can you lift the heel because that left thigh bone sinks more deeply into the pelvis? So find that connection. Let's go ahead and hold it up. Isometric challenge. Hold and breathe. Can you bow forward a little bit more, inviting the thigh bone deeper into the pelvis? Heel can always be down. It gets really wobbly for 3, for 2, and bring that heel down. Go ahead and rise up. Really nice job, you guys. We're going to set that dumbbell to the side, and we're going to take the other side lying experience where we had our foot on the chair and our elbow down on the mat. So you're going to start with your palm flat, elbow down, and you're going to bring your right leg back onto the chair, your right heel rather, and then we're going to lift the hip off the floor. So we've got options here. This is the one where we can choose to raise the top leg like so. So it's going to be a little leg raise from the seat of the chair and up, or you can ask for a lot more. Make sure we're not hanging into that right knee joint, and then we're going to bring the bottom leg up and down. Arm can always come up. It's entirely up to you what levels of challenge you add. Either way, you're getting a beautiful effort through the sideline of your body, lengthening and reaching. Good. Thinking about that shoulder blade melting down and around your ribs. I'm demonstrating both versions. You can do whatever works in your body. You can also switch back and forth. We have 4 more. Beautiful. Beautiful. Keep it up. You got it. You have 2 more. And last one. Bring your hip down. Really nice job, you guys. Really nice job. All right, we're gonna do just a few more little fun items and then we're gonna be done. Alrighty, just like that. All right, go ahead and take your chair. Let's go ahead and have the back of it facing us. So we're gonna turn the chair so the back of it is facing you. Yeah, and we're gonna go into a flat back fold, similar to what we did yesterday, but we're gonna ask for a different challenge from our body. So we're gonna take the arm long at your side, palm is facing in, and you're aiming for the L shape in your body. We're going to send the arm out, we're gonna bring the arm into a 90-degree bend, like so, and then we're gonna send the arm out to the side. So the dumbbell is in your left hand, your arm is at a 90-degree bend, and we're going into a lateral raise. We're just facing the ground, so it doesn't look exactly like it would if you were standing upright. Inhale as we open to the side. Exhale as we bring it back to start. So we're mobilizing that shoulder. If it feels aggressive in your body, set your weight down. But try to mobilize through that shoulder blade for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one. Hold it out for 4, holding for 3, holding for 2. And with intention, set that dumbbell down just near your feet. Both forearms come onto the back of the chair. Find your best L shape. We are going to bend the knees a lot, hold, and then we're going to hover both heels off the mat. Knees stay bent all the way up, opening the front side of the ankles here, and then we're going to imprint the heels back down. Did you feel your core catching you, even though it kind of looks like from the outside a squat or something else that would be all through the legs and the hips? Sure, those are working too, but you want to use your core with your inner thighs to peel the heels up, opening the front side of your ankles, and then with intention setting the heels all the way back down. Do a quick body scan, making sure all 10 toes are melting into the floor, making sure that knees are aligned, big toe, second toe, making sure and just noticing that your sitting bones are really broad in this position. So allow that space as the thigh bones are sinking deeply, sending that breath intentionally through the pelvic floor, all the way out the crown of the head. Let's hold the next one halfway, hold the heels halfway, hover your right hand, and just see what you feel. Do you feel that left waistline catching your right arm? And then set that right arm down. And then we're going to hover the left arm and feel that right waistline catching. Can you invite your thigh bones even deeper into your pelvis? Go ahead and alternate arms side to side. If it's aggressive, heels can always go down. You can always imagine the heels being lifted. Maybe even make your arm hover smaller, see if you get more out of that from that waistline connection. Last time on the right with the right arm hovering. Last time on the left. Both arms are down, pause. Shift your weight back ever so slightly and try to hover both arms, holding that deep forward fold for 5. Heels can always come down. For 3, 2, arms come down, feet go flat, legs go long. Let's take the other side with that dumbbell. Right hand gets your dumbbell, left forearm returns to the base of your chair, the back of your chair. Palm faces in, 90-degree bend. Hold that 90-degree bend, hold your forward L fold, and then we're going to bring the right arm out to the side and bring it back to start. Moving from your shoulder blade, guys. Shoulder blade melts down and around, and then bring it back to start. Checking in with the back side of your legs. I'm looking for a stretch here through the hamstrings, through the low back, but we don't want to lock into the back side of the joints. I don't need to see a visible bend. I want you to feel breath, so your knees are like buoys. Shoulder blade draws down and around. Here we go for 3. We're going to hold this last one out to the side. You choose how high, you choose dumbbell or not for 3. Holding for 2. And last one. Go ahead and bring that dumbbell down and off the mat. Last thing today, we're going to go into some spinal flexion. So you can take your chair off It's always good to recycle. Alright guys, go ahead and come into a 4-point kneeling position. Knees and toes are 4 inches apart parallel. We're going to exhale, round the spine a lot. Inhale, unfurl. So we're just doing one cat-cow first, opening the spine a little bit after that forward fold. Exhale as we round, curl, 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 curl. Deepen your curl even more. We're gonna flip your toes under. If they're not there yet, flip your toes under. And then we're gonna exhale, hover the knees with a rounded spine. And then we're gonna inhale, straighten your legs. So it's almost like a rounded spine, downward facing dog, looking back between your knees. And then we're gonna bend the knees without lowering our pelvis. That's an exhale. Inhale, straighten the legs. So the spine stays rounded. Exhale as you bend the knees. Inhale as you lengthen. Try not to change your heel height. Exhale as you round. Inhale as you bring it up. Beautiful. Hold the legs long. Keeping your spine rounded, we're going to hinge at the shoulders, going forward into a rounded spine plank. We're still looking back towards our ankles. Hold and breathe for 5. Hold and breathe for 4. Round your upper back even more for 3, for 2, and bring your knees down. We did it. All right, let's go ahead and stretch that out. We're gonna come back into that mermaid sit. We're gonna have our right hip down. Yoga block under your hip is always a great option. Left leg is bent. We're gonna take our right elbow down onto the mat and side stretch, opening for space through the side body, opening for space through the ribs. And then we're gonna bring both elbows down to the mat, rotating, stretching deeply through the low back, through the hips. If it's accessible to you, you can bring your head all the way down to the mat. And then when you're ready, go ahead and unwind, bring it up. We're gonna go into a butterfly sit. So you're gonna bring the soles of your feet together. Again, a yoga block underneath you can always be a nice support here. Sitting as tall as you can. Take a nice long inhale here. Exhaling as we release anything that's kind of stuck in our body that's not serving us this morning. Let's go ahead and unfold. The right leg is going to fold behind you. We're seated on the left hip. Okay. I'm going to take that left elbow down, right arm arcs, and just hold this side stretch for a moment, opening space through the hip and through the side body. And then we're going to bring both elbows down. Just deepening that rotation. If it's accessible to you, hands can come down. Go ahead and unwind. We're going to come onto our backs. Come onto your backs. And we're going to do that same butterfly pose, but you're going to be on your back. So take the soles of feet together, knees are wide. And if that feels aggressive in your body or just like a little too much effort for the shoulders and you'd rather bring the feet down onto the mat and the arms long at your side, that works too. So you can have the legs hovered or down on the mat. I'm just going to invite you to take a moment. Take a nice deep inhale here, lengthening your spine. Exhaling deeply. And our journal prompt today is about forgiveness of self. And I'm going to invite you today to spend a few minutes. It doesn't have to be very long. To recycle. I'm going to invite you today to take a few moments. It doesn't have to be a terribly long time. Maybe you just either spend some time mentally forgiving yourself for something that you might be holding on to. Something in the past that needs to be left behind. Maybe you write yourself a short letter. And just give yourself the ability to release something that no longer serves you in the present day. And if you find it a helpful process, it might even be a great choice to write a letter to someone who has not asked for your forgiveness, but someone that you'd like to forgive in order to release something you're holding on to that isn't even affecting them, it's only affecting you. And just allow that to clear from your space and clear from your spirit and bring more peace to your life. Let's take 2 more deep inhales and exhales. Last beautiful deep inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and fold your knees in. You can turn to the side, slowly rise up.